Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, I should have said something? Maybe it was a work meeting, a classroom discussion, or even a conversation with friends. You had something valuable to contribute, but the words never made it out. Instead, you hesitated, second-guessed yourself, and stayed silent. Over time, that silence can feel like invisibility. In today's episode of Empower Your Mind, we're tackling a challenge many people face: how to speak up and actually be heard. We'll break down the mental blocks that hold you back, practical communication tools to organize your thoughts, and strategies to project confidence so your voice carries weight. Whether you're soft-spoken or someone who sometimes feels overlooked, this episode is designed to help you speak with more clarity, courage, and presence. By the end of this episode, you'll have a complete framework for turning hesitation into influence. We're not just talking about being louder, we're talking about being impactful. So, grab a pen or settle in, because your voice matters, and it's time to use it. Part 1, Why We Hold Back. Let's begin with why speaking up is so hard in the first place. Often, it's not because we lack ideas or knowledge. It's because psychological safety feels threatened. When we sense even a slight risk of judgment or embarrassment, our brain reacts as if we're facing real danger. 3 fears tend to dominate. First, the fear of judgment. We worry others will think we're incompetent, awkward, or wrong. Second, imposter syndrome kicks in. We question if we even belong in the conversation. Third, there's conflict anxiety. We avoid disagreement because we equate it with confrontation or rejection. These fears trigger our stress response, narrowing our thinking and encouraging silence. But once you name what you're feeling, it becomes easier to manage. The act of saying, I'm afraid of being judged, or I don't want to sound stupid, engages your rational brain, which calms your nervous system and brings clarity. Understanding why you hold back is the first step to changing it. With this awareness, you gain the power to override the emotional reflex with a more intentional response. So instead of staying quiet out of fear, you can begin learning to speak from a place of purpose. Part 2, Building an Empowered Mindset. Once you understand the emotional patterns behind silence, the next step is to build an empowered mindset that allows you to step forward with clarity and conviction. Speaking up isn't about becoming fearless. It's about building the mental framework to support your courage. Start by reframing your value. Instead of asking, what if I'm wrong? Ask, what if my voice helps someone? The goal isn't to sound smart or flawless. It's to offer value through your perspective. Often, the things we assume are obvious might be profound to someone else. Next, separate your self-worth from performance. Many people tie their value to how well they speak, but your ideas have value regardless of how polished your delivery is. Remind yourself, my worth is not on trial. I'm allowed to speak and learn. Finally, learn to reframe discomfort. That tight feeling in your chest before speaking, it's not a warning sign. It's energy, the same energy athletes feel before competing. Breathe through it, label it as excitement, and keep going. Rewiring your mindset isn't instant, but it's powerful. Post reminders around your workspace. Journal affirmations. Prepare for difficult conversations by rehearsing these reframes in your head. With consistency, your brain starts to default to empowerment rather than avoidance. That's when real growth happens. Part 3, crafting clear, concise messages. One reason people hesitate to speak is they aren't sure how to structure their thoughts clearly. When messages are unfocused or long-winded, listeners lose interest or miss the point. That's why clarity and brevity are key. Enter the 90-second rule. If you can't express your main idea in 90 seconds or less, it's time to tighten it up. Here's a 3-part structure to guide you. 1. Headline. Start with your main point in one sentence. 2. Support. Offer a fact, example, or context. 3. Action or ask. End with a clear next step or recommendation. Example. I think we should try a 4-day work week. Studies show it boosts productivity. Let's test it with one department for a month. This format helps you sound thoughtful, organized, and confident. Practice this daily by summarizing articles, giving feedback, or even telling stories using this structure. The more you rehearse clear expression, the more naturally it will come in real conversations. Clarity isn't about being perfect with words. It's about making your message digestible and memorable. When your points are clear and well-structured, people are more likely to listen and respond. Part 4, voice, body, and delivery. When it comes to being heard, how you say something matters just as much as what you say. Your voice and body language play a huge role in how confident and credible you appear. The good news? These are skills you can train. Start with posture. Stand or sit tall with feet grounded and shoulders relaxed. This opens your chest and allows your breath to support your voice. Speaking from an upright posture signals confidence before you even say a word. Next, focus on breathing. Shallow, rapid breaths make your voice sound tense. Deep breaths from the diaphragm calm your nervous system and stabilize your tone. Practice inhaling for 4 counts and exhaling for 6. Now let's talk about pace and tone. Aim to speak at a steady pace. Not too fast, not too slow. Pausing after key points adds emphasis and gives listeners time to absorb your words. Vary your tone to show enthusiasm or seriousness as needed. Finally, don't forget eye contact and gestures. Use the triangle method. Shift your gaze between 3 spots in the room to include everyone. Keep your hands visible and expressive, especially when emphasizing key ideas. Try recording yourself once a week to track progress. Notice your clarity, warmth, and rhythm. With repetition, you'll start to feel your voice and body working in harmony to deliver your message with power. Part 5, daily habits for a stronger voice. Confidence isn't built in high-stakes moments. It's built in your daily habits. To make speaking up second nature, you need small, consistent actions that strengthen your voice, presence, and mindset over time. Here are 5 habits to build into your routine. 1. Micro speak-ups. Once a day, speak up in a low-risk environment. Comment in a group chat, ask a question in class, or share a thought during a team meeting. 2. Read aloud. Spend 5 minutes reading aloud daily. This improves articulation, pacing, and vocal endurance. 3. Vocabulary journal. Write down powerful, precise words you hear and practice using them. Language confidence starts with word familiarity. 4. Power questions. Make a habit of asking questions like, "What do you think?" or "What problem are we trying to solve?" Curiosity builds conversational courage. 5. Reflect and record. Every evening, write down one win. I contributed in the meeting, or I shared my idea despite nerves. Over time, you'll gather visible proof of progress. These habits are simple but powerful. They desensitize your brain to speaking up and reinforce the identity of someone who is thoughtful, vocal, and confident. Stick with them, and your voice will grow stronger every day. Part 6. Navigating pushback and interruption. Speaking up doesn't guarantee smooth sailing. Sometimes you'll face disagreement, or worse, interruption. These moments can feel jarring, but they're also opportunities to lead with grace and firmness. Start by preparing with the AAA method. Acknowledge, align, and advance. Acknowledge the other person's concern. I hear your point about cost. Align with a shared goal. We both want what's best for the team. Then advance your point. Let's review last quarter's numbers to see what flexibility we have. If someone cuts you off mid-sentence, don't shrink. Instead, pause and say, I'd like to finish my thought first, then I'm happy to hear your take. It's assertive without being aggressive. Use a steady tone and direct eye contact. In contentious moments, keep your body calm and your voice even. Avoid speeding up to push your point. Slow down instead. Confident speakers don't rush. Practice responses out loud so you're ready when tension arises. Knowing what to say makes it easier to stay grounded in the moment. Remember, speaking up isn't just about having a voice. It's about owning your space, even when there's friction. Part 7. Speaking up in virtual spaces. In today's world, a lot of communication happens online. Meetings, classes, interviews. Speaking up virtually brings new challenges: lag, limited body language, and distracted audiences. But with a few adjustments, you can still make your voice heard. First, signal early. Use chat to say, I have a thought to share, or raise your virtual hand. Hosts appreciate clear cues. Second, use names when you speak. Begin with, to build on what Sarah said. It grabs attention and shows connection. Third, keep your camera on if possible. Visual presence helps people stay engaged with what you're saying. Sit upright, make eye contact with the camera, and smile occasionally to build rapport. Fourth, chunk your content. Break your points into digestible pieces. Speak for 30 to 60 seconds, then pause. Invite comments or questions. Does that make sense so far? Finally, limit distractions. Close extra tabs. Wear headphones. Speak into the mic at a consistent volume. Virtual spaces are here to stay, and your ability to shine through a screen is a skill worth developing. With practice, your voice will carry authority online just as clearly as it does in person. Part 8. Handling high-pressure moments. Whether it's a big presentation, a job interview, or answering an unexpected question in a meeting, high-pressure moments are inevitable. But you can prepare to meet them with confidence. Use the 3P prep strategy: prepare, practice, physiologically prime. Prepare your message. Write down your key ideas and structure them clearly. Anticipate questions and jot down a few responses. Practice aloud at least 3 times. Repetition builds clarity and reduces fear. If possible, record yourself or rehearse with a friend. Physiologically prime by using breath or body language to calm nerves. Try deep breathing. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6, or a quick 2-minute power pose to reduce cortisol. In the moment, if your mind blanks, use a bridge phrase to buy time. That's a great question. Here's what we know so far. Then transition into your response. Pressure doesn't mean panic. With the right preparation, you can turn tension into energy. The more you rehearse and reflect, the more naturally confidence will take over in the spotlight. Part 9. Your voice, your impact. Speaking up isn't just about getting attention, it's about creating impact. Your voice can influence decisions, inspire others, and advocate for change. But it can only do that if you let it be heard. Everything we've covered, from mindset and structure to delivery and resilience, is about building the tools to use your voice powerfully and purposefully. Start small. Be consistent. Celebrate every time you choose courage over silence. Track your progress. Let the evidence of your growth fuel your next step. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more thoughtful voices willing to speak up with honesty, respect, and conviction. That includes yours. So ask the question. Share the idea. Give the feedback. Tell your story. Let people hear you. Thank you for tuning in to Empower Your Mind. If today's episode helped you find your voice or gave you tools to speak with more clarity, please consider sharing it with someone who might need the same encouragement. Don't forget to follow, rate, or subscribe so you never miss a new episode. Every week, we deliver practical insights to help you grow your mindset, your confidence, and your communication skills. You can also tag us on social media with Empower Your Mind Podcast to share your biggest takeaway. We love hearing what resonates with you. Until next time, keep speaking, keep believing, and remember, your voice matters more than you think.